Welcome back, everybody. Eating healthy should not be so difficult that it's exhausting, but parents out there, if you do have picky eaters, it is definitely a battle.
Registered dietitian Trish Brimhall is here with answers to improve your family's health, and you have some good tips when it comes to dealing with picky eaters and kind of where to start in eating healthy.
I think that for a lot of us, that is part of our world. Picky eaters, and even just trying to come up with a way to feed a family of 4 and keep everyone happy is a big challenge. But honestly, it's gonna start in your kitchen. Not in the drive-thru, not in the DoorDash or whatever, it starts in the kitchen. And that, I think, is the key. And one of the things, as we talk about eating healthier as a family, it really doesn't need to be difficult or complicated. It's really fairly simple to cook at home with your family and eat meals together. That alone makes a huge difference.
And so, Trish, I don't know if I'm alone. I know I'm not alone, but you sit down to eat, you're in the kitchen for 30 minutes, an hour, and one of the 2 children say, I don't want to eat any of that, so you go back in the kitchen to make something that's a go-to. What is your suggestion for that?
I would say make it a rule not to become a short order cook. And having kids, and one of the ways to prevent that is to get them on board in the process from the start. When you're planning the menu for the week, sit down as a family and say, what do you want to have? Give us input, take turns, make sure that they're sort of invested in that process. The other thing is get them in the kitchen cooking, helping with the preparation, the planning, all that kind of stuff, because this is a huge life skill. And we focus a lot on making sure that as parents, we want to teach our kids these life skills of decision making and creativity and all these kinds of things. That's what cooking does. Cooking allows them to be creative. It definitely teaches decision making, time management, math, reading skills, all that kind of stuff. And it also enlarges their palate. The more you get kids working in the kitchen, the more their palate will expand and they will start to become less and less picky. Over time, this is not magical. And I'll tell you as a parent, this is a commitment. This is hard. This is not just like, oh, I'm going to have a happy Betty Crocker moment. No, it's
more work.
Here we go. We're doing this.
It's true, but so much bigger than even just cooking. I mean, those are skills that they'll take with them forever. Now, one of the mental blocks that I often have about cooking at home is grocery shopping. Do you have any tips about kind of getting over that mental block of going and getting the ingredients to cook your own food?
I would say make sure that you have a plan mapped out. And for me, it's a lot easier if I go to a store that I know, the layout that I know, so that I sit down and I'll take like 3 or 4 minutes and I rewrite my grocery list in order, because it saves me so much time and I'm not like winding back and forth and getting frustrated and crashing my cart into whatever display. So if I sit down and make it sort of in my route to say, okay, this is first, and then I know that through the grocery store I can efficiently go through and get what I need and try to stick as closely as I can to that list.
So I imagine that's where it starts. The food that you pick from the grocery store, and maybe you do have the kids help out, or make sure that they agree that we're gonna pick one vegetable, which one is it? And that means they've already agreed, they've already bought into it.
Exactly.
So then how do we make sure that it continues, like the healthy eating, decreasing the fats, decreasing some of the processed foods?
One of the nice things is that even if you say, oh my word, I have to be, because I think it can be overwhelming to say, I have to teach my kids to cook and do healthy meals and da-da-da. That's overwhelming. Just start with saying, you know what, I'm gonna get them in the kitchen. I'm gonna get them helping to start with the prep, helping with the planning, and then gradually you'll start to understand the more that you start to cook at home, the easier it becomes to find those recipes that you like. And as long as you say, yeah, we're trying to get a good balance and incorporate fruits and veggies, a lot of the other details work themselves out naturally. And so I wouldn't get so worried about saying, does every meal have to be picture perfect? And the more we cook at home, the more fruits and veggies we naturally consume, the less processed foods, the less saturated fats. It just becomes naturally more healthy as we prepare it at home.
Well, and you say there are so many benefits to cooking your own food at home, including lower depression rates, you can focus better, and you teach people on your social media and on your website about this. Where can people go to find more tips from you?
Nutritiousintent.com.
Nutritiousintent.com. And it looks like you are also on social media. Nutritious Intent on Facebook and nutritious_intent on Instagram.
And Trish is not going away. She is a nutritionist, so you are the expert in terms of what you see out there and why this is so important of raising our kids in healthy atmospheres, healthy culture and environment. So thank you for being here, and you'll be here in the next hour. Meanwhile,